to Streaky Mastering TV with me, Streaky, and Shay, my assistant. Today is Friday. We've been working hard on a piano album today, so we're a bit drained. And so we've got a nice cup of herbal tea on the go. Flavour? Apple, honey?
The apple was earlier. This is honey, chamomile and vanilla.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And it's good brew. So, far away. We've got questions basically. They're from the comments that people leave in other videos that we've done. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. On a Friday we'll hopefully get round to answering them for you.
So, first question.
Yeah.
Paul from California, and he says, some days I have to master many different genres of music in a day. To help with fatigue, do you suggest starting off soft and gradually getting harder by genre, or vice versa?
I tend to master different genres all day, but I really work on either a first come first serve basis, or I'm down to a record company shouting at me saying we need this.
Priority.
Yeah, mastering's always the last thing on their mind, and it's always the last thing to get done basically. So they've already got everything else done and they need it done quickly. So if I just have to go on turnaround times more than anything. I would say that if you have got the selection and you can say, okay, well, let's group all the hip hop tracks together, let's group all the other stuff together, I reckon that would probably save you some time, because you're not having to get yourself in the headspace of, right, I'm doing rock stuff or I'm going off to do some hip hop. So yeah, off you go, you know, and that would make it easier. But personally for me, I don't have the luxury of that. But if you have got the luxury, I would say start off with your favourite genre, working down to your worst, or actually probably the other way maybe.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, it depends how you feel, but yeah, get rid of the stuff that you don't like, because then you'll run out of energy, and at least you're doing the stuff you like at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Second question.
Hit me.
This is Rachel from Blackpool. She says, "Hi guys, I'm currently studying engineering at university and want to start getting work experience in some mastering studios. What do you suggest is the best way for me to do this, as I really want to become a mastering engineer?"
Okay. Well, you need to obviously write to people. You need to build up a relationship with some mastering houses, get them to know you. The way to do that, the way that Shay did it, was a different approach, which was to sort of send me a video of what he's done and of him being interviewed. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a nice cheesy video of me doing an interview for a magazine somewhere. And,
but it kind of made him stand out. So when I was looking for somebody, I remembered, oh yeah, what was he doing and what was he up to? And it's about kind of relationship building. So instead of just doing a BCC email where you're just slapping everyone, basically spamming everybody, everyone hates that because it's so impersonal and just like, why bother? You know, you might as well have put leaflets out. So you need to really talk to an engineer, maybe ask some questions, say you're interested, you know, grow the relationship from, don't just go straight in and say, give me a job. Go in and sort of slowly say, how do you do this? I'm doing that.
And even if first of all it's a no, just keep on like, talking to them as just like a friendly basis, like how's things going and what have you got in at the moment, things like that. And don't just ask for a job all the time, because then
their shekels are going to come up, and they're not going to be, because they get people asking all the time, and they'd rather have somebody who's interested and who's willing to learn and who's keen, wants to work probably for nothing most of the time, and just wants to be there and wants to get some experience under their belt more than anything. Does that answer it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So just kind of try and different approach. Try and stand out. Try and be a bit different.
Be personal.
Don't just blanket everybody.
Yeah, just get a bit of personality into it, really.
Yeah.
So last question is Steve from Basingstoke. He says, when I'm mastering at my studio, I take RMS into account more than the peaks, as my limiter makes sure that nothing goes over 0 dB. Is this good practice, or am I going about things the wrong way?
Yeah, it is good practice. I mean, I use RMS for exactly that reason, because peak meters these days really aren't what they used to be, because, you know, it used to be the case that you'd just be trying to hit the peak, so you'd just be going, okay, can I see it hitting the peak? But because everything's so loud now, and because you have to get everything so loud, you're always going to be hitting the peak. You're going to be going right up to the peak. But at least with the RMS, you can see how much you're crushing it, and you can see you know, the relative loudness of it.
The
So
sort
you
of
can,
average loudness.
yeah,
It
exactly.
really
So
means.
you can sort of see the push. So you can get an average level for every track. Every track's going to, peak meters are a bit useless because you're always going to hit the peak. So yeah, I'd go by RMS. I also use VU meters because I come from sort of an older background where it's from vinyl cutting, where you'd use your VU meters to be able to see exactly how much level's going down to the lathe and how the music's reacting. So whether you've got sharp stuff going on or whether you've got, you know, nice slow movement. So a combination of the two is really good. And for me, the VU meters, I can see the movement of the track a lot easier than I can with RMS meters. But RMS meters are great if you just so that you can understand what's going on with level, so you can get especially a consistent level across a whole album. If you're doing a lot of tracks across a whole album, you know how far you can push things, and you generally get an idea. The best thing to do is run other tracks through your meters so you can see what levels other mastering engineers or other engineers are putting them out at. That gives you an idea then of where you should be at, and then you'll get an ear for that in your room. Keep your levels the same on your system, and then you'll get an idea of whether something's loud or not.
Yeah, especially if you get sent things like reference tracks as well
Yeah.
to go by. Like you see the RMS of those ones, and then you know the kind of average loudness you're going to have to be.
You know what people are expecting from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it is good practice then, really, to keep an eye on the RMS instead of the peaks. Cause,
Yeah. Peaks mean nothing because everything's peaking.
Yeah.
It's probably different in recording and mixing. I don't do recording or mixing, so I don't really have that.
Yeah, that's not a good area to be hitting.
Yeah.
Peaking in recording is not cool.
You want to be peaking. If you want to use your peak meters, if you're sending something to a mastering engineer, always peak your track at about -5 dB. So that's when a peak meter is actually quite good if you're a mix engineer, because you just want to get it so that you're leaving enough space at the top for the mastering engineer to do his thing and to push those peaks properly and to limit those peaks properly and just have some space to play. So yeah, peak meters are great if you're not mastering and you're just going to get your peaks for a mix or to send it in, get it ready for mastering.
But that's not a limited file brought down to dB. That's limiter off.
Yeah,
so
don't put the limiter on.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sending it off to mastering. If you're just doing a quick demo for an A&R man to listen to, yeah, fine, slam a limiter on it if that's what you want, if you can't afford to get things mastered. But I would suggest just find someone who can master it for you. It's going to be better than slamming a limiter on it.
Yeah.
You'd hope.
Well, yeah, you would hope. But yeah, that's all the questions for today.
Okay, cool. Well, have a good weekend. We'll see you on the next video next week. I'll try and do some more. I was a bit slack this week, a bit biz. But yeah, have a good weekend. Please leave some comments, questions in the comments, or anything you want to know or say. And please subscribe. And see you next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.